Good evening. Welcome to QUT Web News.
Good evening.
Australia's top Islamic leader today condemned those who use terror to achieve their aims and denounced the killing of police accountant Curtis Cheng. Prime Minister Turnbull also delivered a blunt message to the community: accept Australian values or rethink living here.
Islamic community leaders today hit out at misguided extremist religious teachings following the fatal shooting in Parramatta last week.
We say to those who supported that, stop messing with Australia and its society.
The Grand Mufti, the top Islamic cleric in Australia, was however careful not to call the incident a terror attack, even though police have. He said he didn't have the investigators' information, but the Grand Mufti did condemn terrorism.
We refuse and reject any form of terrorist activities, whether this, if it's proven to be a terrorist activity, or any other one.
The Prime Minister, Malcolm Turnbull, says he will do whatever is necessary to protect our national security and those who enforce the law.
I am committed to ensuring that everything I say and do will make the work of those who keep us safe easier.
And opposition leader Bill Shorten says those of any religious persuasion should not use that faith as an excuse to commit violent acts.
Your faith is something you should be proud of, but it should never be a cave into which you retreat.
He added everyone should work to make Australia a better place. Claire Overell, QUT News.
There was chaos at Mount Panorama this afternoon. Paramedics were rushed on track as defending champ Chas Mostert was involved in a sickening crash.
After a perfect start to practice, the favourites' Bathurst campaign was over before it began.
Into the wall, out of business for Chas Mostert, the reigning champion, has had a monumental crash. This will be a red flag.
Careering around the corner on Forest Elbow, Chas Mostert touches the wall on the left. Unable to steer and with no time to stop, he ricochets, becomes airborne, then his car disintegrates.
A shocking accident that's written this car off.
His Pepsi Max team were in shock, along with the nation. Safety crews rushed to the scene before medics were called. They didn't take any risks. Mostert had suspected broken bones and other injuries. He was airlifted straight to Orange Hospital. Half an hour earlier, Andrew Jones spectacularly lost control.
Andrew Jones, a massive crash at the S's.
He climbed from the car, apparently unscathed, but following the Mostert crash, all track activity was called off. Nick Kelly, QUT News.
Queensland's power companies, usually hard hit by storms, have lent their support to the volunteers who often have to clean up the state. They've announced a $200,000 sponsorship for the state emergency services.
When storms hit, these men and women and thousands like them are on the front line helping Queensland recover. And now, 3 energy companies are helping them.
Energex, Ergon and Powerlink are now supporting us to support those communities. So we'll be able to purchase new and better equipment, and so this is great news for us.
They hope that this will help speed up recovery and minimise the impact of disasters on the community.
Last year, 6,000 SES volunteers completed over 120,000 hours of operational work. This new sponsorship means they will have the best equipment to do their job.
It just makes my life a little bit easier. It's fantastic to know that the community and that some quite significant companies in Queensland are behind the SES.
And as the storm season gets closer, Energex say it's ready for whatever comes.
We're particularly worrying this year about storms, fires and other matters which we are obviously well prepared for.
Nevertheless, they are asking people to notify them of any trees growing into power lines and to keep their gutters and yards clear of rubbish. Curtis Cheng, QUT News.
2 taxi drivers charged with assaulting 3 Uber rivals have been granted bail. Black and White Cabs employees Sucharan Singh Bal and Jaskarat Singh faced Brisbane's Magistrate Court this morning. Magistrate Judy Daly ordered the pair surrender their passports. They've also been told to have no contact with their alleged victims and have nothing to do with Uber.
Cancer researchers from around the world gathered at QUT today to share information. There's concern over the way cancer cells spread when patients are supposedly in remission.
Amongst the chatter over breakfast at the Gardens Theatre, a serious topic was on the table. It was a time to reflect on the fact that Brisbane institutions are leading the fight against cancer. While looking into reoccurring cancers, QUT researchers have found the cells change deceptively over time.
So what you're looking at later when the patient has a relapse may be quite different to what you removed at the time of their initial surgery. And a lot of their treatment's based on how it looked at the initial surgery.
They're now looking for more effective treatment methods to prevent relapses.
Cracking that last frontier of breast cancer mortality, the metastatic cells, and it's part of the, what you would say, personalised medicine approach.
It's all about using new methods and testing procedures to keep one step ahead of the disease. But the good news is survival prospects are improving all the time. Of course, research like this doesn't come cheap. This lab relies on money raised from events like this morning's breakfast, philanthropic donations and pharmaceutical investment. Government grants also help kickstart research, but the pool available is reducing. Another important challenge being addressed is how to improve mental well-being and life after cancer.
Balance is vital, and reflecting and acknowledging the experience is equally vital.
It's challenging but vital work. Nick Kelly, QUT News.
Thousands of Brisbane residents are expected to take a peek at some of the city's most historic and most loved buildings this weekend. More than 90 sites will be open to the public for free guided tours.
The Brisbane Open House showcases our architectural wonders, and it was launched at one of those very places, the UQ Oral Health Clinic.
I believe in good design, and I believe in our city.
The open house concept started in London. It now attracts residents curious to see something they otherwise can't.
In this special weekend, the building is invite you to come in and see what is special inside. This makes it very, very interesting.
While many identify our grand buildings with City Hall and the Windmill, Brisbane is home to buildings from across the eras. Many, like Torbeck, are considered icons of their age. Torbeck was Queensland's first multi-storied home unit development.
The more we can engage the public through genuine interfacing forums like Open House, I don't think you could do a publication and hope they'll go and buy it. In other words, we really do have to take people through it and show them why.
Bianca Banchetti, QUT News.
With spring in full bloom and the gardening economy in full boom, plant enthusiasts are flocking to the International Brisbane Garden Show at Pine Rivers. You are my sunshine, my
40 nurseries are set up here displaying their top plants and wooing keen customers.
The whole aim of the event is to get people interested and excited about gardening. It's all about giving people information and inspiration to go home and get involved in gardening.
And what's good for the garden is good for the state's economy. Over 30,000 people are expected to attend Brisbane's International Garden Show this weekend. While that's good for gardening, it will also help boost Queensland's economy by over $880 million.
I love the landscape displays here. It's something that we haven't been able to do in Queensland before.
And the industry is buzzing about a brand new breed of plant called the firecracker, which bursts into colour when it flowers. The show winds up on Sunday. Ali Campbell, QUT News.
The Brisbane Roar have opened their season with a 3-1 win against the Western Sydney Wanderers. Striker Jamie McLaren scored 2 goals and the man of the match in his A-League debut.
It was an action-packed first half, with all the goals scored before the half-time buzzer. McLaren struck first before the 10-minute mark.
And the first goal of season 11 goes to the Brisbane Roar.
Sydney levelled a few minutes later. Defender Daniel Bowles put Brisbane back in the lead.
He's given it quite clearly. That one's over there.
Then McLaren pounced again, giving the Roar a 2-point advantage and justifying coach John Aloisi's last-minute decision to include him in the opener. And the Roar's goalkeeper was happy to seal his return from serious injury with a win.
The times were a little bit off, but in saying that's a first game, so it was a good hit out for both teams, and we're just wrapped obviously come away with the 3 points.
Wanderers coach Tony Popovich blamed the loss on poor defence and too many missed shots.
We'll take a lot of positives from how we played. We just got to tidy up in certain areas and make sure we don't give the opposition easy goals, make them earn their chances.
Roar play the Central Coast Mariners in round 2 next Sunday. Alexandra Keep, QUT News.
Weather time now, and we had quite good showers overnight and this morning in Brisbane. Today, both Brisbane and the Gold Coast reached a top of 25. Cooler offshore breezes on the sunny coast kept the maximum to 23, while Ipswich was a pleasant 26 degrees. Around the nation tomorrow, Sydney partly cloudy with the possibility of increased showers over the weekend. Showers also developing in Canberra, Melbourne and Adelaide. And take your brolly with you if you're heading to Perth. They're expecting possible storms and a top of 31. Back to Queensland, and showers forecast from centres from Cairns right down to Bundaberg, with temps hovering around the high 20s. Longreach is expecting a sunny Saturday, and the mercury could top 37 degrees there by Tuesday. The 3-day outlook for Brisbane. Morning showers tomorrow with a top of 26. Partly cloudy on Sunday, then clearing to a mostly sunny Monday. And that brings you up to date with the weather.
And that's all the news we have for now.
We're back Monday with more QUT Web News. Goodbye.
Goodbye.